Everybody, you know when you have one of those projects you think is okay, but nobody else seems to like it? Yep, that was this card and tag. Manners maketh man, right? I thought it over for a couple of days. We all have to do what's right for our own health. My health, I can take work. I do not take emotional stress because of the problem that I have with the hypertension. I am paring things down and I am focusing on the direction I want to go in, which is here at YouTube. And this one is much more work intensive than doing anything that you would see through Facebook and through Instagram. There are hours of work that we put into these videos, which is why I continue to support my other small content creators in addition to my own and hopping between everybody and trying to give them a like and a comment so that we can be that change we want to see in the world. We're going to move forward. We've got a bad one in the can here. And maybe somebody out there will like it. And I think the other part of why I was thinking that nobody really liked it so much too was also because of what had been said to me back in the early summer from when I received the hate mail. And I, of course, lost a little bit of confidence that I was thinking that nobody liked my dumb cards. So it was just a trigger. And I quietly left the situation. And as I said, I'll be focusing on other stuff. For this one, though, I do a Christmas cookies card pretty much every Christmas. And I started out with white pigment ink, and then I brought in some of the paper glitz over top of that for the peppermints in the background. And I started on the cookies, the gingerbread cookies themselves with that stencil set from Photoplay. I worked on the inside of the card here with the gingerbread sayings from Spellbinders and brought the stencil back in with that layering peppermints in golden green tones. I wanted red, but my red one, when I originally had bought it, had been dried up, the paper glitz, which is quite common. Those ones do not last long, even with the saran wrap over the top. I'm letting everything dry over on the one side, and I'm working on, like I said, the tag and the inside of the card. Brought out the pigment ink, stamped down the sentiment that I wanted on front of it because I was repeating the tag that I had already done. And I used the same copper embossing powder over top of it. We're going to tap that off, and we're going to get the old heat gun out and watch the melt magic as it starts its glistening. And then we're going to bring in some dark browns around the edges. Oh, wait, no, we've got to put the gold tag on first. This was from the Paper Rose tag set, by the way. Set the hole in. You can tell I'm still feeling a little bit down about this. I'm not my usual bubbly self, right? Oh, I really jumped the gun on when that brown was going around the outside of the tag to distress it. I went back to the front panel that I had, and I used the Peace, Joy, Hope, Love stencil from Simon Says Stamp. Brought the gold pigment ink in again, and it didn't press through properly, but what it did do was it put the gold pigment on top of the stencil, so then I used my brush to brush it off, and that way I didn't get that over stenciling where the ink pools up underneath. So that worked. Okay, there's the distressing around the tag to bring in some of that cooked gingerbread look to it, right? And wipe it off so that you get the ink off the top of your embossing powder. The gingerbread man, I'm using my white gel pen to set in place his icing lines. I am going to come back in later with a little shiny, shiny bling bling and put his eyes and his buttons in with that. I am going to emboss that panel now that the pigment ink has had a chance to dry. And that was with the Christmas cookies folder from Simon Says Stamp. And then we're going to bring out the Lisa Horton metallic inks. Oh my gosh, the gold and the copper. If you want a really good gold metallic ink, it is so juicy. really nice, and it's got so much shine to it. I find it's not drying out as quickly as the other ones I've had from Altenew and whatever the other pigment inks is that I've got up there that I haven't pulled out into Coon Sage, so I can't remember what it is. I put copper around the outside edges of that, and what I was doing was I was mirroring the tag that I had already done. I'll put the panel down on the card and, of course, check to make certain that I had it in the right orientation, not upside down. I'm running some gold ribbon through the tag that's going to go on the top of the cookie card. Of course, it's matching the tag that's already done on the other side. And I like that ribbon because it's quite narrow, but it curls a little bit. I brought in some baker's twine, and there's my touch of red, because red and green for Christmas. We'll snip that end off and decide where we're going to put this little gingerbread guy down on this side. I didn't put them up on foam tape or anything. I just put them directly on the panel because the tag is what I put up on foam. We will set that down into place. And then I came back in with another of my metallics, and that embossing folder has got these little dots all the way through it. I highlighted those with the gold metallic pen to add a little bit more texture in the background, kind of tie everything together all the way around. And I switched his buttons to gold half pearls, but the eyes we used white. And these were little gingerbread. I can't remember who they were from. This calls for confetti, possibly? I'll go look that up for you. Custom stamp on the back. And, the back of the tag. I was like, what am I doing here? You can tell that, this is still affecting me enough that I let this one sit for a few days before I'd even touch it. The back of the tag, I still needed a to and from for it. And I put one little gingerbread man in the corner. We'll glue that down on the back. I had done another series of tags this year too, and they actually look really good on the presents. It's like, ooh, I need to do more of this next year now that I've discovered the joys of tags. And that's the finished card. So I apologize. I'm so sorry for being a little bit more down than usual. I really liked the tag, and I thought the cookie was okay, although I wish I would have had red for it. But hey, we learn. So you guys all go be that change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much for watching, listening to me. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. P.S. Merry Christmas, everyone.